No, probably not. Let's get straight into it with the games. Game number 1, red light, green light. So, I think my plan going into it is to keep my distance from everyone else. Because if I have the knowledge that these motherfuckers are going to be pushing others and actively trying to kill everyone else, I will be trying to social distance myself as much as possible so that the only variable in the way of my survival is myself and not some asshole that's gonna try and push me into harm's way. Besides that, I think I could survive the first game as long as I distance myself and I do my best. I thought about, since I am playing the game, right? I start taking people out myself in the first game, start pushing people myself. But if I already know I'm most likely gonna survive, I don't wanna paint a target on my back at the very beginning of the games so that I'll have future problems for myself later. So I'd rather just play safe and be friendly so I can make as many allies as I can early on and not become the asshole. Moving on to game 2, the Daona Sugar Honeycomb Carving game. This really depends on metagaming. If we're going on the fact that I now know what that exact game is because I've seen the show, so I could just pick triangle and be done with it, well then yeah, no shit, I'm going to win. I will survive that challenge. Sure, there's a chance that I still fuck up anyways, even if I pick triangle and somehow magically mess it up. But on the other hand, let's say that I didn't know. Hypothetically, I'm in this situation and I don't know what picking any of the shapes means. Which shape will I pick between the circle, the triangle, the star, and the umbrella? Knowing myself, I'm probably gonna pick the umbrella or the star, just because I think they look cool. Why would I pick the simple shape like a circle or a triangle? And you also have to take into account how many people are going to which shape. I would probably pick whoever the least amount of people are going to, that shape, or the shape with the most amount of people lined up for it. I'm either picking one maximum or one minimum. I'm not picking any in between, because that means I'm either royally fucking myself or I'm giving myself a huge advantage, because why else would there be so little or so many people in a given line? So on that note, I would probably pick the star or the umbrella, and I would be fucked. I would sit there and I would just know that my life is over. I got a gun pointed to my head by a red guard and I know it just pulled the trigger on me already. However, I would probably sit there in silence and wallow in my self-pity and look around. I would be looking around like it's a final exam. I'd be like, what are you guys doing? See that they start licking their Daona? I'm gonna be on that shit, bro. I'm gonna be licking the fuck. I'm gonna be licking my cookie like crazy. No pause. Yeah, I would give myself like 60-70% chance survival on the Daona game, because it really just depends on what shape you pick and if you're gonna rush in immediately and try and get it done, or wait for people so you can figure out that you can just do the lick method. So I would give myself an okay survival chance on that one. All right, let's say I passed the Daona game and now we're moving on to Tug of War. I can't recall because I haven't rewatched season 1. I just went straight to season 2 when it dropped. So I don't remember exactly if they let you pick what team you went on exactly, but I'm pretty sure they told them to split up before they told them what the game was gonna be. So knowing that, I would probably be dumb and close-minded like everyone else and just pick whoever is going to be the most physically fit for this job and the most team working, the most compatible and cooperative people. So regardless of my own strength, on the bright side, I'm still a male. So you got women and elderly, and I'm young too. So I still have 2 advantages on that note, even if I am on the weaker side. And I'm gonna pick a team that's more physically able. So on that note, I'm pretty sure Tug of War would be pretty easy. Now the next game is marbles. There's a few caveats with this game. First and foremost, you have to pick a single partner, and you do this before you even know that you're going to be going against them. And I would not be smart enough to pick someone I don't like, because obviously I'd assume that I'd be working with them. So I would pick probably my closest ally if I've made one by this point. So hypothetically then, if I've picked an ally, I can safely assume that no one else I know is going to be in the Squid game. So I'm not going to have any friends or relatives or people that I have actual connections with before meeting in the game. This means I don't have any real connections. I'd be willing to kill these people and only regret it so much, because I don't have any past connection with them. At the end of the day, it's me or them, and I know that, and I'm gonna carry that guilt, but I'll just make the move anyways because I'd rather stay alive than sacrifice myself for someone I don't even really know. So the person that I picked to be with me doesn't really matter, because if we're going on the basis that I don't really know anyone from before the game, then I have no quarries killing them. I'm gonna feel bad, of course, but at the end of the day, it's me or them. It doesn't matter to me. The real problem, though, is picking what game we'll actually play to determine how we get the marbles and who will win. Because it is up to the two partners to pick what kind of game they want to play. Again, I haven't watched season 1 in a few years, so I don't remember exactly all the games that they played back then in the show. But if I were to come up with a marble game that would help me win, I might set up a bowling game. We get 10 marbles into the triangle formation, right, of one of us, since there's 20 marbles total, we each get 10. And then we take turns playing marble bowling. And whoever gets more points like real bowling wins. And then we just do that and they take all the things, you know, gentlemen's rules, shake on it. I think I would have an okay chance at surviving. As long as I don't build too much of a connection with other people, which I don't think I would anyways. Maybe I would, but I don't think I'm gonna get done dirty as Ollie, so I think I'd be fine. All right, for the next game, it's Hopscotch with glass tiles. Now this is one of the ultimate gamble games. 50-50, you got a fake glass and a real glass. You step on the wrong one, you're going down, you're dead. I'm honestly pretty confident in my survival in this one. In the show, there was a guy in the back who worked with glass for a year, so he could tell the difference between tempered glass and fake glass and all that shit, so he knew which ones would break and which ones wouldn't. And he was in the back waiting for all the assholes to go first and die anyways, which is the same thing that I would do too. So I would just stay in the back because I'm not trying to have the people behind me just push me like selfish pricks. That I would just be the most selfish. At the end of the day, if you want to ensure your survival, you need to save your own skin. It's all about being selfish, and if there's anything I could excel at, it would be that, because it's me before everyone else, and that's just the way the game works. That's how I'll win. Given it's a 50-50 chance too, the statistics aren't that bad, because at the end of the day, it's just a coin flip over and over, and I like my luck, so I feel like I wouldn't do too bad. So I would still give myself a high survival rating on this one too. So I think the only two games that I really have trouble with and be most likely dying is the Daona Sugar Honeycomb game and probably the Marbles game, because those two games compared to the others test my own technical skill the most compared to any other, where I can just rely on the deaths of others to carry myself. Moving on to the final game of season 1, Squid Game. There's a lot of factors that could influence my survival on this one and my ultimately winning the game. The first factor we have to take into consideration is who am I going against? Who's my opponent in this 1v1? In the show, 456's opponent was someone who was close to him, so it was a really heartfelt battle. Like I've mentioned before, I wouldn't be close to anyone, so this shit would just be kill or be killed. There would be no emotions. There would be no holding back here. Also, I remember they held a banquet before that final game. So I would be full off food and drink. Yeah, it's over, bro. As long as I'm not hungry and I just had a nice ass meal, you're going down. Especially, like I've said before, if it's a woman or it's elderly. I mean, like, that's just easy pickings. Now, if I was going against an MMA world champ, well, I'm fucked, then I might as well just step out myself and take the bullet. Moving on to season 2 now, our first game isn't actually a game inside the facility, it's outside. The guy in the suit who does the Dokji games. I'm talking, of course, about the Russian roulette when he kidnapped the two dudes. Now, I figured there's no better way to test my survival than by actually playing the game. So let's just have a go here. I have one in the chamber right now, and we're just gonna go for a spin. I have a 5 in 6 chance of survival, just like how he says in the show. So my chances of survival are pretty high, and I'm not likely gonna get shot at here. But there's only one way to test that theory. Safe. Okay, it was not that deep. It's not like it's a real bullet. But come on, guys. I'm trying to theatrics. Come on. Don't clown me. Don't leave the video. Alright, well, I survived a 5 in 6 chance, but what about the 1 in 6 chance? So in the show, we see that after playing a few rounds of Russian roulette with only 1 bullet in the chamber, that Mr. Dokji adds 4 more, making the survival chances only 1 in 6, which leads to the inevitable demise of one of the players. So we're gonna do the same thing here, and I'm gonna have 5 out of 6 bullets loaded in the chamber, and we're gonna see if I can survive. So let's have another go. Yeah, I got shot. I didn't survive that one, which, I mean, I don't know who would. You need to be pretty fucking lucky, and even I'm not that lucky. Moving on to the first new game of season 2, we have 6 legs. Now, 6 legs is a game where you find 4 teammates and you tie your legs together to do a relay race. And in between racing, you have 5 minigames you need to complete. When it comes to teammates, that's a real toss-up, and I'm gonna be fucked or less, so it doesn't really matter. We're just gonna go based on my physical skill if I were to perform each of the minigames that we go along with. So moving to the first minigame, Dokji, I would say I have a 60-70% chance of winning because it honestly doesn't seem that hard. All you gotta do is flip the envelope with the other one just slamming. Especially considering the fact that if I'm in Squid Game by now, I had to go against the Doc G guy in the subway station, so I already have a bit of experience here, so it's not that bad. Moving on to the next mini game, Flying Stone. All you need to do is knock the stone with your own stone. You just need to have decent aim, and I feel like this might just be the one that I'm best at, because all you need to do is... The only problem is if you miss, you gotta walk all the way over there and come back, so that's the only drawback, but I think I could get it first try. Now the third game is Gongi, where you take the dice, then you roll them, and then you gotta flip them up, catch them in your hand while they're doing all that shit. Honestly, I think I'm fucking dead. I would have to rely on a teammate to do that, because seeing the way that they pulled it off in the show, I would be absolutely fucked. So yeah, I'll pray that I'm in good hands with my teammates here for that one. The fourth one is Spinning Top, and honestly, that one seems pretty fucking easy. If not for Flying Stone, I think I could do that one best as well. And for the fifth one, Jeggy, I don't play soccer like that, but honestly, I think I could do this shit pretty easily. Look, all you really need to do is just boom, I'm messy. It's not that hard. For the 6 legs game in total, all it really matters is that I have good teammates, and if I do, I'm fine, and if I don't, I'm fucked. So either way, I think I have like 50-60% chance of survival here, which is not bad, all things considered. Now the next game is called Mingle, where they all get on the carousel, it spins around, and then you gotta group up with people in the right number, and then go to the room and have the right number of people in there. I honestly don't know why so many people died in the show because of this game, because it seems extremely trivial. All you realistically need to do is get a group of 10 decent people, because I think 10 was the max. It didn't really matter. If you had that many people, you could split up into the right amount of groups and everyone would be fine. Even then, when you were watching people die out there in the show, is because there was hella stragglers. You're telling me none of the stragglers out there looking for a group couldn't just find a group? Literally, the only problem would be the final game where you have to split up and find a single partner, and then the problem would just be getting to the room before someone else did, because there wasn't enough rooms to fit everyone. And even then, I'm a decent runner. I'm gonna be looking to the person to my right or my left, like the teacher just called on us to do partner work from across the classroom. I'm grabbing their hand and I'm fucking booking it. I will be pushing, I will be shoving, I will be fucking slamming people out the way to get my room secure, and it wouldn't be that bad. So the Mingle game, I think I would do fine. 70, 80%, no, fuck it, 100% survival rate, 99% survival rate. That shit is easy. Now, those were all the games inside Squid Game Season 1 and 2, but there was also the special Lights Out events that happened in each of the seasons. And with those, it really just boils down to what friends you've made so far. If you've sided with the less physically able people, like the elderly, the women, the pregnant, the sick, you're kind of screwed. However, if you sided with the more physically fit people that are usually also the assholes too, trying to kill everyone, then you're probably fine. So I would say my survival chances are pretty high because I'd be gunning it to be friends with the most physically fit to begin with. Of course, I wouldn't be an asshole to the people who aren't as physically capable, but I just wouldn't be hanging out with them compared to the people who would be more likely to be good teammates that would protect me. With the Lights Out event, I wouldn't be actively trying to go out and kill people, because if I were in Squid Game, I wouldn't be trying to kill people to increase the prize pool. I would just expect them to kill themselves because I don't think I'd have the heart in me, and plus it would take up too much energy and I'd be risking my life while trying to do it. Not to mention I'd be putting a target on my back for other people to kill me. The Lights Out events, I would just hide and let people work it out amongst themselves. Oh, for that riot on the final episode 7 of season 2. I would probably hide with the majority. I would get hype, fuck it, let's do a breakout, let's kill all these red guards, let's get 2. But if I was looking at it realistically, I'd probably be scared shitless, and even with the adrenaline and with the hype, the morale, I would know that I would probably get fucking gunned down like the rest of them. Especially when you consider the fact that the front man was in there the whole time, and he was ready, fully willing to just gun down anyone in his way. I would not want to be a part of that. So with the Lights Out events, I think I'd be fine. With the riot, whatever. In total, I think I'd have an okay chance of surviving Squid Game, but you have to take into account that that's 456 people competing. No one's the main character, hella bodies are getting dropped. And I'm almost certain I'm probably going to be one of those bodies. This is just something interesting that I wanted to talk about, considering that Season 2 just dropped and we got a fucking shitty ending, I'll tell you what. I get it's supposed to be a setup for Season 3, but I'm so tired of shows doing this now, like with The Boys Season 4. Come on, really? Don't get me wrong, Season 2 wasn't that bad. I was actually surprised at how well it did, because I had some pretty low hopes considering it dropped the ball. But it held up on its own, and it did a good job at continuing the spark that Squid Game Season 1 had, so I'm not disappointed at all. With this, I'll be ending the video, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.